Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. 1967 was a groundbreaking comedy show that defined television humor in the late 1960s and 1970s. With its fast-paced sketches, sharp political satire, and unforgettable catchphrases, it turned actors like Dan Rowan, Dick Martin, Goldie Hawn, Lily Tomlin, and Ruth Buzzi into household names. More than 50 years later, what has become of the stars who once made millions laugh every week? Some continue to shine in Hollywood. Others stepped away from the spotlight, and many have sadly passed on, leaving behind a legacy of laughter. Join us as we look back at the Laugh-In cast then. And now, revisiting the iconic moments and the personal journeys that shaped their lives beyond the show. Gary Owens joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1968 as the announcer when he was 34 years old. With his resonant baritone and comedic timing, Owens became unforgettable as the show's booming voice, often seen cupping his hand to his ear in mock seriousness while delivering absurd introductions. His role gave the fast-moving sketches a sense of structure, but always with a twist of surreal humor. He could announce the most ridiculous things with the gravity of a news anchor. And that contrast was what made him iconic. Owens' career stretched far beyond Laugh-In. He was already a successful radio personality, and his voice became a staple of American pop culture. He famously voiced Space Ghost in the 1960s and continued to lend his talents to countless animated series commercials and parodies. His ability to mix authority with comedy made him a favorite in both children's entertainment and satire. Off-screen, Owens was married to Arletta Helene, with whom he had 2 sons, and his family life remained steady throughout his decades-long career. Despite facing health struggles later in life, Owens continued to work in broadcasting and voice acting. He passed away on February 12, 2015 at the age of 80 due to complications of diabetes. His unique style as a comedic announcer left an indelible mark on television and animation, making him one of the most distinctive voices in entertainment history. Alan Suze joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1968 as a regular performer at the age of 42. Known for his flamboyant personality and larger-than-life presence, Suze became a standout with his eccentric characters, exaggerated mannerisms, and willingness to embrace campy humor. His sketches often included over-the-top delivery-zony costumes and a gleeful embrace of absurdity that fit perfectly within the show's chaotic rhythm. Audiences particularly remembered him for characters like Big Al the Sportscaster, whose clueless commentary turned sports reports into comedic spectacles. Suze's fearless comedic style brought a distinct energy to the ensemble, making him an essential part of Laugh-In's peak years. Beyond the show, his career extended to stage and television, with appearances in productions such as The Twilight Zone, The Brady Bunch Hour, and the Broadway version of Mame. His humor, often ahead of its time, influenced generations of comedians who followed. While private about his personal life, Suze was beloved in Hollywood for his kindness and wit. He continued performing in smaller productions and voice roles in later years. Alan Suze passed away on December 1, 2011 at the age of 85 from cardiac arrest, remembered as a bold, trailblazing comic who helped redefine television comedy in the 1960s and 1970s. Dan Rowan portrayed Frank Farkle in Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1967 when he was 45 years old. As co-host of the series, Rowan was the composed, sharp-witted straight man who kept the show from spiraling entirely into chaos. Within the Farkle family sketches, he played Frank Farkle, the patriarch of a bizarre sitcom-style family whose red-headed children were an ongoing gag. Rowan's humor was rooted in his dry delivery and impeccable timing qualities that allowed him to balance the slapstick absurdity around him. His on-screen banter with Dick Martin became the foundation of the show, introducing and closing episodes while slipping in political jabs and satirical observations that gave the fast-paced humor more edge. Outside Laugh-In, Rowan's career included stand-up guest appearances on variety shows and occasional dramatic roles. His partnership with Martin dated back to the 1950s, and their chemistry was honed in nightclubs long before television success. In his personal life, Rowan was married 3 times and fathered 3 children. Tragically, his flourishing career was cut short when he was diagnosed with lymphatic cancer, passing away on September 22, 1987, at just 65 years old. His death marked the loss of one of comedy's most refined and intelligent performers, whose influence still echoes in sketch comedy formats today. Ruth Buzzy portrayed a Gladys Ormsby in Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, 1968, when she was 32 years old. Gladys was her signature character, a frumpy spinster in a drab brown dress with her hair tightly pulled back into a bun, and her ever-present purse, which she frequently used to clobber anyone who annoyed her. Her comedic foil was Arte Johnson's Tyrone, an equally eccentric old man who often tried to flirt with her on a park bench, only to be whacked with Gladys's purse in retaliation. This pairing became one of the most beloved running gags in the show, showcasing Buzzy's talent for physical comedy and her ability to bring humanity and humor to a cartoonish figure. Beyond Laugh-In, Buzzy's career flourished in television children's programming and voice acting. She appeared on Sesame Street, guest starred on The Bionic Woman, and voiced characters in animated series such as The Smurfs. She also remained active in theater and comedy specials. Off-screen, Buzzy was married to Kent Perkins, with whom she shared a long and happy partnership. Known for her warmth, wit, and unique comedic style, she continued making appearances at fan events well into her later years. Ruth Buzzy passed away on May 1, 2025, at the age of 88, leaving behind a cherished legacy as one of comedy's most endearing performers. Arte Johnson portrayed Wolfgang, a cigarette-smoking German soldier, in Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, 1968, when he was 39 years old. His most iconic catchphrase, whispered slyly with a grin, "Very interesting," became one of the show's defining trademarks. Wolfgang was often portrayed as a clueless spy or bewildered observer, and Johnson's ability to infuse the character with both menace and hilarity made him unforgettable. Beyond Wolfgang, Johnson excelled in multiple characters, including Tyrone F. Horney, the elderly lecher who pestered Ruth Buzzy's Gladys on the park bench, creating one of the most memorable comedy duos in TV history. His versatility and mastery of accents and timing made him one of the brightest stars of Laugh-In. After the show, Johnson appeared in The Love Boat Fantasy Island and voiced numerous animated characters, while also guest starring in dramas and sitcoms alike. He won an Emmy Award in 1969 for his work on Laugh-In, cementing his place among television's great comedians. Offstage, Johnson was married to Gisela Johnson, and the couple remained together for decades. In his later years, he battled health issues but remained beloved by fans for his wit and charm. Arte Johnson passed away on July 3, 2019, at the age of 90 from bladder cancer, leaving behind a timeless legacy of quirky, unforgettable comedy. Dick Martin portrayed Leonard Swizzle in Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, 1967, when he was 45 years old. As Rowan's comedic partner and co-host, Martin embodied the mischievous, childlike foil whose silly expressions, double entendres, and playful delivery created endless laughs. His recurring character, Leonard Swizzle, showcased Martin's flair for physical comedy and zany timing, often paired with ridiculous scenarios that perfectly contrasted Rowan's cool restraint. Within the show's sketches, Martin thrived on cheeky humor that pushed boundaries, becoming one of the most beloved figures of Laugh-In. Off the stage, his career spanned acting, directing, and producing. He directed dozens of popular sitcom episodes, including The Bob Newhart Show Newhart and Archie Bunker's Place, proving his versatility in television beyond performance. He also made appearances as a celebrity panelist on game shows where his quick wit continued to shine. In his personal life, Martin was married twice and raised 2 sons. Even after Laugh-In ended, he remained a familiar figure on American television, maintaining a reputation for humor that never lost its charm. Dick Martin passed away on May 24, 2008, at the age of 86, due to respiratory complications. His long career left an enduring legacy of laughter, cementing him as one of the most iconic television comedians of the 20th century. Lily Tomlin became a regular performer on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In in 1969 at the age of 30. She quickly became one of the breakout stars of the show, introducing unforgettable characters such as Ernestine, the snarky, nasal-voiced telephone operator, and Edith Ann, a mischievous little girl who sat in an oversized rocking chair delivering wisecracks that were both hilarious and insightful. Tomlin's characters blended satire with warmth, often poking fun at American culture while giving audiences someone endearing to love. Her fearless creativity and ability to switch between outlandish personas made her an instant favorite and set the stage for her decades-long career, After Laugh-In, Tomlin became one of the most respected and versatile actresses of her generation. She starred in films such as Nashville 1975, 9 to 5 1980, and The Incredible Shrinking Woman 1981, and earned multiple Emmy, Tony, and Grammy Awards across her career. She received an Academy Award nomination for Nashville and continued to thrive in modern television with roles in The West Wing and Grace and Frankie 2015-2022, where she starred alongside Jane Fonda. In her personal life, Tomlin has shared a lifelong partnership with writer Jane Wagner, whom she married in 2013 after decades together. As of 2025, Lily Tomlin is 86 years old, celebrated as a living legend of comedy and performance. Jo-Ann Worley joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1968 as a regular performer when she was 31 years old. Known for her booming voice, infectious laugh, and flamboyant delivery, Worley became a standout on the show with her zany, over-the-top comedic style. She thrived in sketches that required boldness and exaggerated energy, often breaking into raucous laughter that became her trademark. Her contributions helped cement Laugh-In's identity as a show that celebrated unpredictability and eccentricity. After leaving Laugh-In, Worley built a long and varied career on stage television and voice acting. She appeared on Broadway in musicals like Hello, Dolly, made guest appearances on dozens of sitcoms, and became widely known to later generations as the voice of the wardrobe in Disney's Beauty and the Beast 1991. In addition to her entertainment work, she became a passionate animal rights activist, working with groups such as Actors and Others for Animals. Off-screen, she has been married once, though much of her private life has remained low profile compared to her energetic public persona. Celebrated for her longevity and versatility, she remains beloved as one of the original powerhouses of Laugh-In. As of 2025, Jo-Ann Worley is 88 years old, continuing to be honored for her comedic legacy. Henry Gibson portrayed the parson in Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1968 when he was 33 years old. With his small frame, solemn expression, and distinctive voice, Gibson created one of the show's most recognizable recurring figures. The parson would appear in sketch after sketch, delivering witty satirical poems in a deadpan tone, often beginning with a poem by Henry Gibson. His delivery, filled with faux sincerity, gave a wonderfully absurd contrast to the show's frenetic style. Gibson's humor was subtle and intellectual, making him stand out as a performer whose understated approach was as effective as the louder slapstick around him. Beyond Laugh-In, Gibson enjoyed a long and successful career in both comedy and drama. He appeared in Robert Altman's Nashville 1975, earning critical acclaim, and later took memorable roles in The Blues Brothers 1980, Magnolia 1999, and even as a guest in numerous television series. His ability to move between deadpan comedy and dramatic acting made him one of the most versatile talents of the Laugh-In cast. Off-screen, he was married to Lois Joan Geiger until her death, and together they raised 3 sons. Henry Gibson passed away on September 14, 2009, at the age of 73 from cancer, leaving behind a rich body of work that demonstrated the power of wit restraint and quiet brilliance in comedy. Judy Carn joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In in 1968 as a regular performer when she was 29 years old. Nicknamed the Sock It To Me Girl, Carney became one of the most recognizable faces of the show, thanks to a recurring gag in which she was repeatedly drenched with water, knocked over, or otherwise victimized whenever she uttered the phrase. Her bright smile, comedic timing, and willingness to play the hapless target gave Laugh-In one of its most memorable running jokes. Carney's charm lay in her ability to balance innocence with a mischievous twinkle, ensuring that audiences always anticipated her next misfortune with delight. Beyond Laugh-In, she appeared in TV series such as Love on a Rooftop and The Americanization of Emily, and she continued working in television throughout the 1970s. However, her career later became overshadowed by personal struggles, including 2 failed marriages, one to actor Burt Reynolds, and battles with substance abuse. She also published a candid autobiography, Laughing on the Outside, Crying on the Inside, where she detailed her tumultuous life. Despite hardships, Carney remained a beloved television figure remembered for her contributions to Laugh-In's wacky energy. She passed away on September 3, 2015 at the age of 76 due to pneumonia, leaving behind the legacy of a performer whose comedic misfortunes made audiences laugh for decades. Dennis Allen became a regular performer on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1970 when he was 30 years old. Though not as prominently recognized as some of the breakout stars, Allen contributed to the ensemble with an expressive style and lively presence that suited the show's rapid-fire sketches. His talent lay in quick character transformations, delivering absurd lines with a straight face and adding energy to the chaotic rhythm of the program. Laugh-In relied heavily on its ensemble to keep its pace of gags, one-liners, and slapstick flowing, and Allen's ability to adapt to different comedic tones made him a reliable performer. Beyond his time on the show, Dennis Allen pursued further work in entertainment, including theater and television, though his fame never reached the same heights as some of his fellow cast members. His career, however, is remembered fondly by fans who appreciated his contribution to the landmark series. Details of his personal life were kept private, but his work left an impression as part of one of television's most inventive comedy ensembles. Tragically, Dennis Allen's life ended prematurely when he died on December 1, 1995, at only 55 years old, closing the curtain on a career tied forever to the golden age of sketch comedy. Barbara Sharma joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1970 as a regular performer when she was 32 years old. Her lively energy, expressive dancing, and sharp comedic instincts made her a versatile addition to the ensemble. Sharma's background as both a dancer and actress gave her a unique flair, allowing her to bring physical comedy and musical rhythm to the show's sketches. She often appeared in supporting roles that required quick timing and a strong presence, helping to keep the pace of the show brisk and engaging. Beyond Laugh-In, Sharma enjoyed a career on stage and television, appearing in productions such as Sugar Babies on Broadway and guest starring on shows like Barney Miller and The Love Boat. She also became known for her work in commercials where her vibrant personality shone just as brightly. While she never reached the household name status of Goldie Hawn or Lily Tomlin, her talent and versatility made her a respected performer among peers and fans of the show. Offstage, Sharma has kept much of her personal life private, preferring to let her work speak for itself. As of 2025, Barbara Sharma is 87 years old, remembered fondly as one of the dynamic performers who kept Laugh-In fresh, fast, and full of surprises. Goldie Hawn joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1968 at just 22 years old, making her one of the youngest and most vibrant members of the cast. Known for her bubbly personality, wide-eyed innocence, and frequent bursts of giggles, Hawn quickly became the breakout star of the show. She often appeared in bikinis or body paint, with political slogans, laughing and delivering absurd punchlines with a ditzy charm that masked sharp comedic instincts. Her contagious energy made her a household name almost overnight, and Laugh-In catapulted her into stardom. After leaving the show, Hawn transitioned successfully into film, winning an Academy Award for Cactus Flower 1969 and going on to headline a string of hits such as Private Benjamin 1980, Overboard 1987, and The First Wives Club 1996. She became one of the most bankable female stars of the 1970s, and 1980s admired for her comedic brilliance and radiant screen presence. Off-screen, Hawn has been in a long-term partnership with actor Kurt Russell since 1983, and together they raised a blended family including actress Kate Hudson. She also founded the Hawn Foundation, dedicated to children's education and mindfulness. As of 2025, Goldie Hawn is 79 years old, celebrated not only as an Academy Award-winning actress, but also as a cultural icon whose career began with the joyful anarchy of Laugh-In. Richard Dawson appeared on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1971, portraying the vicar when he was 39 years old. Already a seasoned British actor and comedian, Dawson's sly charm and quick wit made him a standout addition to the cast. His role as the vicar gave him opportunities to deliver satirical commentary through the lens of a clergyman, often mixing moralistic tones with irreverent humor, perfectly suited to the show's playful irreverence. Dawson was no stranger to sketch comedy, and his polished timing made him an effective foil to the zanier performers around him. Beyond Laugh-In, Dawson achieved widespread fame as Corporal Peter Newkirk on Hogan's Heroes, 1965-1971. Later, he became a household name as the original host of Family Feud 1976, 1985, 1994, 1995, where his charm and frequent on-air kisses became iconic. His career earned him a Daytime Emmy Award and enduring popularity among television audiences. Off-screen, Dawson was married twice and had 3 children, including his son Gary and daughter Shannon, with second wife Gretchen Johnson. Sadly, Richard Dawson passed away on June 2, 2012, at the age of 79 due to complications from esophageal cancer, leaving behind a legacy as one of television's most beloved personalities. Johnny Brown became a regular performer on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In in 1970 when he was 33 years old. Known for his warm presence, expressive face, and smooth comedic delivery, Brown contributed greatly to the ensemble during the later seasons of the show. His quick wit and charismatic stage manner allowed him to stand out in sketches even among the chaos of the larger cast. Before joining Laugh-In, he was already a successful stand-up comedian and impressionist, and after the show he became widely recognized for his role as building superintendent Nathan Bookman on the sitcom Good Times 1975-1979. His career also included appearances on The Flip Wilson Show, The Jeffersons, and countless guest spots across variety programs. Beyond television, Brown was an accomplished singer and performer who toured with legendary musician Sammy Davis Jr. His personal life was defined by a long and happy marriage to his wife June, with whom he had 2 children, including actress Sharon Brown. Known as a kind and supportive figure in the entertainment industry, Johnny Brown enjoyed a career spanning decades. He passed away on March 2, 2022 at the age of 84, remembered for his warmth, humor, and invaluable contributions to both comedy and African-American representation on television. Larry Hovis appeared on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In in 1971, playing the senator when he was 35 years old. Already well known to television audiences as Sergeant Carter on Hogan's Heroes. 1965-1971, Hovis brought his trademark deadpan humor and sharp timing to the Laugh-In stage. His senator role fit perfectly with the show's satirical take on politics during the early 1970s, a time of social upheaval and distrust in government. His sketches often poked fun at political hypocrisy, delivering biting commentary through humor. Outside of Laugh-In, Hovis had a versatile career as a singer, comedian, and writer. Before his television fame, he performed in musical theater and recorded albums showcasing his strong vocal talents. After Hogan's Heroes, he turned increasingly toward writing and producing, contributing to shows such as Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In and others behind the scenes. Later in life, he also became a respected educator, teaching acting and drama at Texas State University, where he inspired a new generation of performers. Sadly, Larry Hovis passed away on September 9, 2003 at the age of 67, after battling cancer, leaving behind a legacy as both a performer and teacher. Ann Elder joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In in 1970 as a regular performer when she was 30 years old. Her sharp wit and gift for one-liners made her a natural fit for the rapid-fire comedy of the series. Elder was especially skilled at playing characters with an exaggerated sense of sophistication or authority, only to puncture those roles with absurd punchlines. She brought a vibrant energy to the ensemble, adding sparkle to the skits where timing was everything. While her time on Laugh-In was relatively short, she went on to build a remarkable career as a comedy writer. Elder co-wrote material for numerous variety shows and earned 2 Emmy Awards for her work on The Lily Tomlin Special and Lily. She also wrote for the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour and contributed to other popular television comedies of the 1970s and 1980s. Beyond television, Elder became a playwright and author, showing her range beyond performance. In her personal life, she has been a private individual, though her professional achievements remain widely respected in the comedy world. As of 2025, Ann Elder is 85 years old, celebrated both as a performer and as an Emmy-winning writer, whose words helped define an era of American comedy. Teresa Graves became part of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In in 1969 at age 21, where she played Gar Farkle, a member of the comically oversized Farkle family. Her lively energy, dazzling smile, and comedic presence quickly made her a fan favorite on the show. Graves stood out not only for her charm, but also for her ability to balance slapstick comedy with sharp delivery, giving her characters a distinctive edge. After Laugh-In, she achieved groundbreaking success, by starring in Get Christie Love 1974, becoming the first African-American woman to lead her own one-hour network drama series. The show where she played an undercover detective made her a trailblazer in television history. Despite her rising fame, Graves later stepped away from Hollywood, devoting her life to her faith as a Jehovah's Witness. She shifted her focus from acting to spiritual pursuits, living a more private life outside the entertainment industry. Her career, though relatively brief, left a powerful mark as she broke barriers for Black women on television. Tragically, Teresa Graves passed away on October 10, 2002 at the age of 54 after suffering burns in a house fire. Moosey Dryer appeared as a guest performer on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1971 when he was just 7 years old. As one of the youngest cast members in the show's history, Dryer brought an element of childlike innocence and playful energy to the sketches. His appearances often leaned on his natural comedic instincts as a child actor, providing a humorous contrast to the more seasoned adult comedians. Despite his brief stint on Laugh-In, he became a familiar face on American television throughout the 1970s. Dryer went on to appear on the Bob Newhart show The Waltons and Room 202, developing a strong reputation as a reliable young actor. As he grew older, he successfully transitioned behind the camera, building a career as a respected television director, working on shows like Reba Frasier and Fuller House. His career has spanned both acting and directing, making him a versatile presence in the industry. While he has kept his personal life private, his long-standing dedication to television has earned him admiration from colleagues and fans alike. As of 2025, Moosey Dryer is 61 years old, remembered fondly as the child performer who grew into a talented director with a lifelong connection to television. Jeremy Lloyd joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1969 as a regular performer when he was 39 years old. His sophisticated British wit and eccentric delivery offered a unique comedic flavor that contrasted perfectly with the fast-paced American humor of the series. Lloyd's appearances often played on his dry style and aristocratic demeanor, making him a versatile addition to the cast. Though his time on Laugh-In was relatively brief, his career in comedy was long and influential. After returning to the UK, he became a celebrated writer and creator, co-developing iconic sitcoms such as Are You Being Served? 1972, 1985, and Allo Allo 1982-1992, both of which became international successes and remain classics of British comedy. Lloyd's writing displayed his knack for character-driven humor and farcical situations, shaping the tone of British television comedy for decades. He also had a brief career as an actor in both film and television, but his greatest legacy was as a writer and creative force. Jeremy Lloyd passed away on December 23, 2014, at the age of 84, leaving behind a body of work that continues to influence and entertain audiences around the world. Pamela Rogers joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1969 at age 26, playing Simon Farkle, another member of the hilarious and endlessly multiplying Farkle family. With her youthful looks and natural comedic flair, Rogers brought charm and enthusiasm to the role, blending into the show's zany sketches with ease. Though not as prominently featured as some of her co-stars, her appearances in the Farkle segments contributed to one of the series' most beloved running gags. Beyond Laugh-In, Rogers pursued acting throughout the late 1960s and 1970s, appearing in television guest roles and stage productions. She was admired for her versatility, able to shift from a comedy to more dramatic parts, though her career never reached the same iconic heights as some of her castmates. Rogers later stepped away from the spotlight, choosing a quieter life away from Hollywood. She remains part of the rich ensemble history that made Laugh-In a cultural phenomenon. As of 2025, Pamela Rogers is 82 years old, remembered by fans as one of the spirited Farkle family members who added fun and laughter to the show's legacy. Who is your favorite character from Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In? How do you feel knowing that some cast members are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated. We appreciate your support and are glad to have you as part of our community.